We will be looking at our Algebra 1 math review, week 17. We will be looking at Wednesday and Thursday. All right, number 1 says, which is true of negative 30 times 3? Notice connected means multiplied. The product. Well, the product here of negative 30 times 3 is negative 90. The product is the reciprocal of, the reciprocal of, the reciprocal of. So we need to know what the reciprocal is. The reciprocal is the multiplicative inverse. That is, it's a flipped over fraction. So if you have x, the reciprocal is 1 over x. 5, the reciprocal is 1 over 5. 3 over 2, the reciprocal is 2 over 3. The reciprocal is a flipped over fraction, and it's defined that way. It's the multiplicative inverse. If we multiply those numbers together, it yields 1. Notice 3 over 2 times 2 over 3 is equal to 6 over 6, and that is 1. All right. A number times its reciprocal is 1. X times 1 over x would be x over x, or 1. 5 times 1 over 5 would be 5 over 5, or 1. So negative 90 is the same as negative 90 over 1. Thus the reciprocal is this one, negative 1/90. And we've talked about the reciprocal this year with regards to perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals. That is, they are opposite and flipped over. Number 2 says evaluate 5 to the 6th times 5 to the negative 4th. Well, maybe you remember our product rule. It said if you have some number to some power multiplied by that same number to a power, you simply sum those exponents. X to the 4th times x to the 3rd is x to the 7th. So here 5 to the 6th times 5 to the 4th becomes 5 squared, and that's 25. You could verify that using your calculator. Number 3 says the slope of the line. Well, you may remember that one way we found the slope was change in y divided by change in x. That is, subtract some y's on the top and subtract some x's. So see if you can figure out which one of those correctly does that. Okay, number 4 deals with simplification, so we're just going to distribute here and then combine like terms. All right, I think you can do 5 pretty straightforward. I'm going down to Thursday now. It says the Alhambra, an ancient fortress in southern Spain, covers an area in square meters that can be described this way. A product is multiply, 10 to the 4th power and 14 and 2/10. 10 to the 4th power be written in this manner, 10 to the 4th power times 14 and 2/10. So I'm going to put this in parentheses, 14 and 2/10. 14, I could write it as 2/10 fractionally, or 0.2. This is 10 to the 4th times 14.2. One manner that we could write that. Number 2 says, finish the equation to show the commutative property. Well, the commutative property with regards to addition or multiplication says the order doesn't matter. So we could rearrange a couple of these terms in order, and that would show the commutative property. If I simply rearranged the c and the b squared here, c plus b squared plus a squared b. I rearranged the c plus b squared. That shows the commutative property. Likewise, I could have rearranged these two to demonstrate the commutative property. Number 3 says solve this equation. Well, notice there's variables on both sides. Eliminate one of those variables, and then you'll be headed in the right direction. Number 4, solve for x and graph the equation. Well, we have x minus 7 is greater than negative 4. Solving for x, I'll add 7 to both sides. So this yields x is greater than negative 3. I want to graph x is greater than negative 3. I go to negative 3, and I will put an empty point. We say open because there is no equal to part. I want greater than. Notice the little mouth is facing in that direction. We're going to shade to the right. These are values greater than. all of the values shaded here are values that are greater than -3. They will all satisfy that inequality. Number 5, mean is the average. That is, sum all the numbers and divide by the total number of numbers. Median is the middle number. Median is the middle number. Put them in order and select the middle number. Range is the maximum minus the minimum, so subtract the biggest minus the smallest number. Mode is the most often. MO for mode, MO for most frequent. All right, you should be able okay on the remainder of these problems.